Hey guys, welcome back to Large Scale RC Nation. This is Brandon, and today we're going to be working on Bag C. Bag C is going to be including our center differential, the housing, and the brake and throttle linkage. Let's tear into this bag. We will start by opening bag C1. We will need our spur gear. We will need a bearing at a C1-1. We'll need a drive pin. We're gonna need the O-ring. And we're gonna need one of the shims at a C1-2. This will be one of the larger shims. And we will need a sun gear. This will be a larger gear in your bag. Place these off to the side. And we will need one of our outdrives. So we're going to start with C1 in our instruction manual. We're going to start by taking our bearing with the flanged end and place that down onto our spur gear. And it will sit as so. Next, we're going to take some black grease and run that around our Lighten V2 outdrive. And then we will place the outdrive in. Next, we will run some black grease on our O-ring. And I'll stick a little extra black grease around. Now on your shim, one side will possibly have a little bit more of like a rounded flange. You're gonna face that upwards and the flat will face down. And now we're gonna take our drive pin and place that through the hole, as you can see here. What this does is lock down our O-ring. Go ahead and give it a spin. Make sure everything's nice and greased in there. And then we're gonna wipe away any of the excess. So we're going to mimic just how we built this one with this one. Put the black grease in the bottom, put it on the O-ring, put it on the shaft of the outdrive. Make sure you put your bearing on, and then you're gonna put it all together just like we did the other one. Now we're gonna take our gasket and put it on our center diff housing. And we're going to line up the holes. All right, everything's sitting flat, lined up. Now we're gonna take our 2.5 with 4 of our screws, put some blue Loctite on it, and secure this. Just getting these snug. All right, now we'll just tighten them down. Okay. Now we're going to take our sun gear, make sure it sits down nice and flush. So you're going to take your aluminum cross pin and put your two planetary gears in facing towards each other, as so. And next are going to be your shims. As you can see, the shim is going to have a more beveled shiny side and a flat duller side. You're going to put the shiny side in towards the gear on both sides. Now it's going to be your support blocks. Same thing, the support block has a beveled round side and a flat surface. The flat surface is going to go towards the outside of your center diff housing or any housing, and that's going to give more surface space to the housing, and it's going to sit on here just as so. So now you can just go ahead and place it in. And there's going to be a long side and a skinny side of these support blocks. All you got to do is just twist it and then spread apart the gear. And this is what it will look like. You can see it rotates freely. So the bottom one is going to have that flat surface facing upward, while the top one is going to face down, and they'll connect each other. So let's go ahead and do the same thing for our second one. Okay, with our second one built, same thing, we're going to spread it apart. All right, and as you can see, everything is sitting flush. You'll notice be down because the bars will be flat all the way across, and everything is sitting against the wall. And then just hold the center and go ahead and give that a spin. Make sure that it works properly. Okay, with all of our parts moving freely, now it's time to add our oil. All right, so we're gonna place the oil down in the corners. And we're gonna go ahead and just work it underneath that bottom sun gear. Now it's time to go ahead and top it off. And we're gonna go ahead and let those bubbles rise to the top. So we're gonna start getting all these large air bubbles out. As you can see, they're coming to the top. Slowly spin it, and there's probably going to be some large air bubbles underneath the gears as well. You're just going to slowly spin it. That way you don't get more bubbles in there. There you can see one that was trapped in the tooth from the bottom. And so I do recommend, while you're letting all these air bubbles rise to the top, that you go ahead and start working on the next section of your manual. But since we have time, we're going to let this sit, and then we'll come back as soon as these bubbles are gone. So as you can see, we still have a little bit of surface bubbles coming to the top. To speed up the process, you can place your bottle of Diff oil into some hot water, and this will make it thinner and allow those bubbles to rise to the top faster. All right, guys, our bubbles are finally disappeared out of the oil. Now we can go ahead and finish up this install. So what we'll start off doing is gently set in our sun gear. And you can see we're a little bit low, so we'll go ahead and top this off. Now that our oil is full, we're gonna go ahead and line up our gasket. Get the pin in line with the holes. And we'll do the same with the top. You can see the pins in line with the holes. And then we're gonna go ahead and lay this down and match it up. And it's sitting flush, so we know we have it on there properly. We'll line up the gasket with our holes. Now we'll place some blue Loctite on our hardware and install this. Alright, so now we're just gonna tighten these up in a star pattern. Start from the back. Forward. Left and right. All right, our center diff is built. Now let's move on to our next step. Thank you guys for tuning in to Large Scale RC Nation. This was the beginning build of Bag C. We will be finishing Bag C in our second video. Please subscribe, smash that thumbs up, and hit that notification bell. See you in the next one.